Womp womp. Or should I say ribbit ribbit? It is time to play some FrogTide. Dimir, Psychic Frog, Murktide, just Dimir good stuff. So here, pretty standard list, pretty typical. You know, you've got your 4 of Preordains, your Scry 2 draw a card, your Spell Snares, hits other frogs, hits Bowmasters, hits, you know, Birthing Ritual if you watch my last videos. There's a lot of really good 2-drops in the format that this hits. Tamiyo, what more needs to be said about Tamiyo that hasn't already been said? It's just one of the best planeswalkers, one of the best 1-mana planeswalkers. I think the only 1-mana planeswalker, but it's also just like one of the best planeswalkers and one of the strongest cards that is in Modern right now. This thing is so easy to flip and just takes over the game if your opponent can't answer it. Cling to Dust is just a way to have some recurable, repeatable graveyard exile. You can also use the escape cost to grow your Murktide because you just exile 5 other instants or sorceries and make your Murktide even larger as a potential way to kill. Fatal Pushes kills just about everything. There's enough fetches in the deck that you should be able to turn the Fatal Pushes on pretty easily. Thoughtseize, you know, it's never bad to attack your opponent's hand. Never know, you know, it's always good to know what you're getting into. If you want to try and go for, you know, maybe try and resolve a Psychic Frog into open mana, something like that, just it gives you that kind of reassurance or a Murktide, something like that. So it just kind of lets you know how to move forward with your turn. Counterspell, blue, Counterspell. I would not be playing a Counterspell. I love having Counterspell in my deck. You know, that's as good as it gets. Orcish Bowmaster, there is a lot of just kind of like raw, unadulterated draw going on in Modern that people are just not being punished for. So it's just a really good incremental, you know, pings, damage, ways to get a big body off of the army and so on. Shoot the Sheriff is a 1-of. I really like this card. The more I play it, the more I really start to enjoy it because there's not a lot of outlaws in Modern. So not a lot of mercenaries, assassins, pirates, rogues, and warlocks. So anything that your Fatal Push can hit, your Shoot the Sheriff can. So if you're looking at a Titan, you can kill a Titan. If you're looking at any of the Eldrazi, this kills those. You know, things that Fatal Push just doesn't touch. Psychic Frog, it's the frog. I mean, it's so good. It was banned in Legacy. You can't do much, can't say too much more about it. Draws cards, gets big, wins games on the spot. You can kill your opponent from like 15 life probably with a frog and a Murktide. So it's just nasty. Force of Negation, Sink into Stupors, Archmage's Charm, just more counterspells, more interaction, more ways to stop your opponent from killing your stuff or from resolving any of their big important spells. Dismember, really, really good at killing the new hotness, that Ketramos, that black-white 4/4 indestructible. Indestructible doesn't do shit against a -5/-5, so it's really here for that. And then, you know, anything else that's like a 4/4 that might be hard to get through, might be hard to deal with. You got 2 subtleties, just good creature removal off the stack. So anything like if you don't have a way to kill the Delighted Halfling, you can, instead of countering the spell, you can just put it back on top or bottom. It's a good card. It's starting. I think it's going to start picking up in play rate with Breach being gone. You know, it's definitely a stronger card against a lot of the top decks in the format. Kaito, playing standard, I guess. Kaito is pretty strong. I think it took a little while for people to realize that just getting a 3-mana Surveil and then draw, especially it's very good when paired with like Orcish Bowmaster, because if they have one creature, one of your things get through. You know, it sucks to lose the Orcish Bowmaster, but you then get a Kaito who can tap stuff down, make himself bigger, surveil and draw. It's just such a crazy tempo swing that people aren't really ready for. And the Murky Boy, the big one. From MH2 on, he has just been the boy of this deck. He is the heart and soul, the thing that keeps this deck going. Back when it was Izzet, now it's Dimir. It doesn't matter. Murktide just says, feed me instants and sorceries, and I will feed you the hopes and dreams of your opponents. So we'll take a peek at the sideboard cards here. So we've got our 4 consigns. Again, if you're running blue, you're running consign. It just doesn't, there's no reason for you not to. Eldrazi is just too good, too big of a menace in the format right now to not have consigns or some sort of way to interact with Eldrazi in your sideboards. Stern Scolding, really good against any of the like Yawgmoth decks, anything that has like 1 or 2. So most of the cards, or I think just about every card that's in the black-white deck, that black-white Orzhov, mid-range, blink, whatever you want to call it, hits just about everything. Solitudes, Felias. It doesn't hit the Baelmerk, but you can deal with the Baelmerk using something like a Dismember or just counterspells, things like that. The Jace for control, best matchup is, kind of wear your control opponent down, keep putting threats into play, Don't let them take over the game, and then you just start to fate seal them. Or it's just good raw card value that you can get off of like the 0. So I think it's for longer, grindier games where, you and your opponent are starting to trade like one for one resources because you're both pretty low on, hand size, cards, stuff like that. Harbinger card just kind of slaps. It turns off any of like it really screws up the domain decks. It really screws up some of the like elementals. I know elementals is not the most popular, but it pops in and out of favorability. It slows down Eldrazi. Boros, not so much unless they're a little bit like greedy on their fetches, but I don't think you're bringing that in against Boros. It's a good way to hose your opponent's lands if they're being a little too greedy with their fetches. Mystical Dispute, good against the mirror. It's just an extra counter spell. A 3-mana mana leak at the worst isn't horrible, but it's really just for like the mirror, so you can go like 3 mana, have Frog plus Mystical Dispute, or like have Murktide plus Mystical Dispute as like a backup. Spellbomb, just another way to deal with any graveyard-centric strategies. Maybe Goryo's, if Goryo starts to come back now that Breach is gone and people are going to be a little bit lighter on their graveyard hate type effects. Surgical, it just deals with whatever you're most worried about. Is it Counterspell? Is it Murktide? Is it Psychic Frog? Are you worried about your opponent having an amulet? Are you worried about your opponent having a Myco spawn? There's just, it hits so many, it's a one and done, like just get it out of here. I'm done worrying about it. I'm done having to think about it. Another Thoughtseize is a way to just do a little bit more hand disruption for any decks that don't draw a lot of cards or try and fight you early. Having one extra Thoughtseize in the deck is a way to kind of strip stuff from their hands, strip their resources so that they have less and less things to do. And Anoint with Affliction. So this is another standard card. So we're mixing in a little bit of standard here. Exile target creature. If it has mana value 3 or less, your opponent's never going to be corrupted just because you're not playing poison in this deck. But this deals with Ketramos. That's kind of the biggest thing it deals with. It deals with the Johnnies, any of the like small creatures that get out of hand pretty quickly. Anything in Boros. It deals with the Psychic Frogs. If you're seeing the mirror and so on. So we are going to jump into a league. We're going to play 5 games, and we are going to see if we can just dump our frog all over people. And we have the play in game 1. How much better can it be for us with this hand? This hand is pretty good. I think it's a hold the sewers. We're going to go Watery Grave, Tamiyo, Misty Rainforest to hold up a counterspell or a force if we need it. I think this hand is very good. This hand gets us to where we want to be. It gets us to the end game of just using Tamiyo as a way to accrue just as much value as you can over the course of a game by just attacking, making clues, attacking, making clues. Now on the play, this hand might not be as good, or on the draw, this hand might not be as good, but on the play, it's pretty good, I would say, because now our opponent has to deal with it, or we just start to do the thing. Our opponent, Hibari. Okay, so Godless Shrine, I have to imagine they're going to kill the Tamiyo on, yep, Fatal Push. That sounds about right. Show me second one. All right, so we are going against Sewers, or Orzhov midrange. It's got so many different names, Death and Taxes-esque. There's just, there's so much with the deck. I like the Spell Snare. That is pretty good. Now, how much do I want I think I want to start filling the grave. I want to start trying to get some action going here. I'd like to go like next turn, maybe run, Murktide, or not next turn, but in a turn or two, use the Misty Rainforest, get my Surveil going, and then try and get my Murktide going with backup. So the other thing I could have done is I could have protected the Tamiyo, but I don't think that's where I want to be. I don't think I want to be going down to kind of a card disadvantage to try and save a Tamiyo. But I'd love to see my opponent play a 2-drop. That is a 2-drop for sure. Oh, shit. I didn't think about that. That's unfortunate. Tough times for me, huh? And it's a Solitude. All right, so they just have so much. So now I need to hold this Murktide for a long time. Because I need to protect this bad boy from my opponent just ruining my hopes and dreams. Well, another land isn't really where we want to be, per se. Even though it does give us, you know, we can like fetch, surveil if we have to fire off counterspells. So there's a world where we can fill our graveyard, but I have to imagine I want to maybe take the slower... Take the slower route here. Play the control style. Ooh, that's pretty good. I mean, it does basically the same thing in terms of just being in the grave versus not. I'm going to put it in the grave. I think the reason I put it in the grave there is I would like to be able to, you know, get this Murktide going pretty soon. I want to leave the Spell Pierce up, but having 3 in grave is pretty good. All right, so now I've got double Counterspell. It feels pretty good. I'd like to see my opponent try to resolve their spell. I would like to see them maybe like pitch cast Solitude, but I have a feeling that's not how this is going to work. Okay. We're just going to take our time. We're going to let our opponent do some stuff. Now I need to find something to deal with this Overlord pretty quickly. A Thoughtseize. They're going to take a Counterspell anyways, and this helps me just put stuff in the grave. So I think I'm okay to do this. I want him to think. I want him to feel scared, because it's, you know, it's they either know everything in my hand, or I just have to like use the counterspell and make them think that I've got something like much better. Now this does give me a Kaito. How interested am I in getting a Kaito going? Now this deck doesn't run a lot of like creature based removal. I could make a 6/6 Murktide with counterspell backup. I think that's probably good enough. Yeah, I think the plan is if they try and like pitch cast a Solitude, something like that, I'm gonna counterspell it. I would have liked to have been able to use this Kaito, but I just don't think that it does enough. Now at this point, I don't even know if I really want to worry about like counterspelling what's it called? I don't know if I really care about counterspelling like a Thoughtseize. Do it. Pitch your cards. Now I will have to... They got rid of a Witch Enchanter. I'm good with that. So they're down to 3 in hand. Now if they have like another one, it's gross for me, but this might be a situation of like force, pitch, spell, snare on like a kill spell on their turn. Hopefully they don't try and kill my thing, and then start chunking them for 6 with this Kaito as a way to surveil and draw. So to kind of pull me back into this game. Second Solitude. Naturally. I would just like, and then they're going to have, no way their last card is a fucking Ephemerate. Oh, you're kidding. My opponent just gets to have it all. Oh, this. Well, this just got real bad. And they probably have like a Ketramos because they kept the card on top. An Emperor. I can't snare an Emperor. It's getting real bad. I should probably have not gone for it there. Feeling a lot worse off than I was a few minutes ago. Opponent just having the absolute nuts, and I'm drawing lands. This is going well. So like the Kaito doesn't. So the Kaito would be at 5, 3, 4, 5. It just doesn't do anything for me. I need to deal with this Emperor at some point soon, but unfortunately I'm just kind of in a doo-doo butter spot. Don't have another Surveil. Yeah, I'm really I'm hurting here. The opponent having exactly everything that they could ever dream of. All right, well, I lose this game. That's fuck me. All right, so Scoldings are really good. Anoints are probably pretty good. Thoughtseizes and Surgicals. Consigns, no. Dispute, no. Harbingers, Jace. I don't know if Jace is good enough. They have like no 1-drops that I'm interested in taking, so I can cut the Archmage's Charm. The subtleties are probably pretty good. The snares, there's like Felia, there's Emperor. Like I think it's good enough. Good on like a Preordain. Well, I need this to kill their I think Force of Negation is just actively the worst card in the deck. It really doesn't do anything. Let's try something like that. All right. It is very unfortunate how that last game turned out. Now this hand, it has a frog. Mulligans to 6. All right. Let's see if we can make the crazy comeback. Mulligans to 5. All right. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm a fan. All right, so we're going to go Surveil, Frog, and then we're going to just hold up. I mean, if they want to, like, Solitude, because they could, like, Solitude pitch Frog. Sure. Thoughtseize. They got to take the Frog. I don't think there's a way that there's no other card that they can take that is that good. Unless they want, like, the Counterspell, but I don't think that's great. I think just forcing me off of threats. Let's grab the Sewers. An Orcish Bowmaster on top is pretty good. I'd like to hold up second Surveil. Also realizing I can't cast my Counterspell because I'm an absolute idiot sandwich and I keep just playing like a donkey. What did you pick up? No cards. Okay, let's see what you're working with, kiddo. We are going to... Oh, you've only got 2... Oh, I could take the land and hope you don't draw. No, we're going to take the Ketramos. It would be kind of cute to like try and take their land, keep them off of the Ketramos, but like I can't Thoughtseize the top of the deck, and just far and away the best card that they have in their hand is that Ketramos. Like I don't really care if they're going to... Like if they play their Bogar Bog as a land, like everything's good. And if they play a land right now, I'm going to feel really good. Relic? I don't think I'm interested in letting them actually draw any cards. I don't want them, and I don't want them exiling my graveyard. I've tried so hard and put in all this work to try and get my graveyard big. Not the biggest Murktide, but it'll probably get the job done. Because now they skip their land, so now they're probably going to play their Bog as a land. I have to imagine that. They have one unknown. All right, now I need a Gloomlake Verge. And do they draw the card that they need to change their destiny? Show me a 2-mana spell that I can just get rid of. Let's go, baby. All right, now I'm on the draw, though, which is not great. I don't really want to be on the draw. We're going to run it back again exactly as is. A hand with 2 counterspells is pretty good. I just don't know if it's... I think I can find a better 6. Because, like, they go Thoughtseize, take my counterspell, and then maybe Thoughtseize, take my counterspell again. Is that really what I want? I think I can find a better 6. I'm okay with this 6, and we're going to put back the Kaito. So the reason I'm okay with this is I can hold up like Preordain. So I can go like Preordain, Counterspell. Or I can just have a Tamiyo. That's pretty good. So now I'm forcing them to have to basically, unless they want to like fetch and shock, I'm forcing them to not Surveil, take away that Surveil value, or I'm forcing them to basically like play on my turn or play on their turn to stop what I'm doing. Now it is going to be tough if they go like Overlord. That's going to hurt a little bit, but they've had it every turn too. But I do have the Dismember, so that makes me feel much better. It gives me a little bit of the warm and fuzzies. Yep, there's your Overlord. I'm not going to stop that because I can't. Oh, the fact that it's a creature on the stack and an enchantment in the graveyard. All right, well, now I can just wait for you to try and... Or I could Thoughtseize it. Murky? I don't know if Murky's good enough. Let's go black. I'd like to see what you're rocking with here. It can get like third. I mean, if they want to like double Thoughtseize, I'm fine with all of that. Because next turn I can just like flip this Tamiyo. Because they don't have much that gets... They don't have anything that gets rid of it, actually. And if they want to like Bogar Bog me, that is not the worst situation. They can Thoughtseize me once, probably take my... I have to imagine they take the Counterspell, but they might just take the Preordain because I can flip this Tamiyo and they really cannot pressure it. And if that's what they do, yeah, I figured that was what they're what their game plan was, but now I can just kind of get shit on because I can't Thoughtseize the top of the deck is what I can do. Gross, gross, gross times for me. Well, we're going to just play a land. We're going to hold up my counterspell. I mean, I have to imagine they just like Thoughtseize again, but if they do, I'll probably just let them take the damage. Seems like the right choice. So like we're in a race of losing life points here. So they can have their Overlord. That's going to buy back something from them. I'm going to crack this now. Or I'm going to find a land. That's good. Oh, they're going to take the Ketty. That's not good for me. So I know just the Bogart Bog. I mean, there's no way they don't take... Oh, they take Solitude. Interesting. Well, let me get a little surveil action going. Show me an absolute banger on top. I guess that's fine. It's like, it digs me deeper. Then it digs me one deeper. So like if it was like a consider, I'm gonna bin it. But because I get to look at 2 cards now, am I in the like? I don't think I'm in the spot of let me just preordain. Well, that's worse. But I can kill everything that they play, which is good. But I need to start finding some sort of action. So I know that they've got a Solitude. I know they've got a Trawler. You just got all the Thoughtseize. All right, so they have Solitude and Trawler is their cards in hand. They're down to 12, which is pretty good. Yeah, I don't care to lose my graveyard. That's fine. I'll just start to refill it again. I do need to find kill spells for these Overlords. And I also need to get some cards out of my deck. Like lands. I need these lands to stop being in my deck. So I know that there's a Solitude, and then always, always, always at the worst possible time do I draw a Murktide. Oh, jeez. So now the question is, do I just get absolutely fucking rolled by? Because if they have Ephemerate, like I'm dead. I can't beat an Ephemerate. Let's just get the Watery Grave. Let's just continue to thin the deck of the lands I don't want and hope I can draw spells. Thoughtseize. That puts stuff in the bin. Oh, God. Of course, that's what they have. Got to take the Felia because that just like resets my Murktide over and over again. And they can't. Is a 5/5 going to be good enough? Now I just need them to like not draw a land for a turn or two or a white card to pitch. No white card, please. I'm gonna just lose my mind. Doesn't do anything for me. Oh my God. Now they just start to turn it around. I need a kill spell like at this exact moment. I get like one more turn to find something. A Kaito. Now, what does a Kaito do for me? What do I do? I could like stun. I probably need to stun the Overlord. Buy myself some turns, see if they who they want to pressure. They've got to pressure the Kaito, I have to imagine. Unless they pull like an Ephemerate. But I can't do anything during their turn. Yep. That's fine. I'm in the market of buying myself turns here. That's not buying me a turn. Now, if they Ephemerate, nope. All right, so I've got like a turn to figure something out. I can play a Murktide, which would be a 4/4, like a preordain into like a preordain, and I'm dead on their next turn, depending on what I have. What did I draw? If it's a land, I swear to God. Well, I can continue to play the stall game. Playing riveting gameplay for you guys who are here to enjoy the channel. I'm going to continue to stun this and try and buy myself a turn. So that's both of my Kaitos down. Not great. Now, I wonder if they attack me. I feel like they have to attack the Kaito. And one more, I can take one more hit. This game fell apart so unbelievably quickly. My opponent just top decked like an absolute Giga Chad. I don't care what it is, it's getting countered. Get your shit out of here. I'm dead anyway, so I need to counter that. Now my Murky's a little bit bigger. All right, show me like preordain into Murktide into... I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know what draws I get that get me out of this. And it's not going to be this land I'm about to draw. Can't stop that either. Oh boy. That's not going to do it. Fuck me. Well, that was round number 1. Black, white into blue, black. This is going to be a matchup you're probably going to see a lot. And it's just like, it is tough at times. The first game, my opponent just had the perfect hand and just got to do like everything that they wanted and all of their dreams came true. Second game, you know, I got to kind of have all of my dreams come true. And then third game, I just could not find. I saw like very few frogs. My Tamiyos died. Like my opponent having all the thought seizes and all of the good stuff just absolutely bodied me. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. I appreciate you guys coming out, checking out the Scryhards and hanging out here for this video. Have a great day.